In session for a couple weeks now, so it's not too late to develop some good homework habits. Here to give us some tips from the San Diego Center for Children is Dr. Beretta Schur. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for being here. So we know as you've gone through life that it's not just about being smart, but if you have good study habits, you will do well and you will test well. And it's important to develop those skills early on.
Right.
So how can we help our kids really learn how to study and how to do their homework properly so that all the information sinks in?
Right. I always think of buy-in, right? If you want somebody to do something, they have to find out it's meaningful for them. So I really emphasize, telling kids from the onstart that this is a life skill that they're learning. It's their ability to take accountability for their education. It's their time away where they're independent from the teacher, so they're not as supervised, and they're learning really valuable life skills. They're learning time management, organization, planning, and very importantly, they're learning how to self-monitor. So they're learning how to evaluate their progress and make changes. So that is a wonderful life skill, and the earlier it starts, the more practice they get at that.
Oh, absolutely. And a lot of that falls on the parents. So we're going to get to what we can do as parents and put ourselves accountable to help our kids with all of that good stuff. But let's start with what you call skills development. What do you mean by that?
Sure. So we're teaching skills. We're teaching them the life skills of accountability that I just explained. It's kind of the why the homework's important, but they're also learning lots of different skills that teach us about the way we learn. Frankly, we learn through practice and repetition. So homework helps us practice what we've already been introduced in the classroom. It helps us apply it in different ways. So it's taking the skills that we've learned and apply it to new situations. And also, sometimes it helps us later in years prepare for the next day. So as you get older, teachers will assign work independently, and then you bring that material and you apply it critically in the classroom. So that's the purpose of homework, really. It's to prepare, practice, and enhance learning.
And is that really what you describe as mastery of a concept?
Yes. So it helps master the concept. So it's taking what's introduced in the classroom and applying it through repetition. And that's really how we master and we learn, is through multiple exposures, applying it in different ways. We're increasing the way that we understand a concept.
Right. Okay, so now we get to the accountability part, and that's for the students and parents.
Right. So it's teaching them that they are a partner in learning. And so there's lots of different ways that you can help get them excited about that. I mean, part of the parent's role is to build that enthusiasm for learning, is that this is, your early career, this is what you're starting, and let's find ways to apply what you're learning in the classroom through, a trip to the library or a trip to a museum. And so it's, parents finding creative ways to apply whatever's being learned in the classroom and re-emphasized in homework through just kind of family activities.
As the kids get older, you can really explain better how this helps them later in life, and it helps them get into college, do better in college, and therefore be successful in life. But how do you help a younger child get excited about homework?
Right. So you have to hold the enthusiasm earlier on, and you provide a lot of the structure, and you teach them, I want you to kind of be your best you. Let's practice. Let's figure out ways that you can be your best you, and let's start here. Where did you want to start? Or, with younger kids, if they're learning shapes or whatnot, you can make a game out of it. Let's figure out the shapes that we have in our house, and can you find squares and circles? And, when you're driving, you can do that as well. So you can try to make it fun and creative as much as possible for them to really build that enthusiasm.
And then you say consistency is important as well.
Right. Yes. So you need that structure, you need that routine, and there's lots of elements that go into a routine, and it's time, place, and rhythm really helps with that consistency. So the time is really finding the time of day that works best for your child. This isn't one size fits all. The time can be different for child to child. So some kids might be ready to tackle that homework as soon as they get home from school. Get it out of the way, do it then. For some kids, they might need some time to unwind. They want, maybe to take a little bit of break, have a snack, kind of decompress from the day, and then tackle the homework a little bit later. Some kids might need to have movement breaks, so they might need to do, a few minutes at some time and then come back to it a little bit later. So it's finding the time and being consistent in that time for your family. And then the place. So you need to find a place that works well for your child. So make sure that they have the proper tools to do their homework. They have a desk, an area that's well lit, also that's free of distractions. So
not in front of the TV.
Not in front of the TV, not in front of the iPad, not in front of the cell phones, not in front of a lot of other activities that are going on that's really fun. So sometimes it could be helpful if it's like family, quiet time where everybody else is doing, some type of homework type activity. But finding a place that is really conducive for them to concentrate.
Okay, and if you've applied all these wonderful tips that you're giving us and you just aren't getting anywhere and you're about to lose your mind, of course the San Diego Center for Children is a resource. There's a lot of resources out there.
Sure.
Where can you go?
Well, I'd say it's that you bring up a really good point, and you want to observe how your child tackles homework, and you want to observe where they're struggling. So, is math a little bit harder than English and science? Are these the areas that they're struggling with? And you want to build that partnership with your school and the teacher. Homework should be purposeful, meaningful, and tailored to the child's developmental level. So if you're noticing a lot of frustration and the child is really struggling and giving you a lot of pushback in doing it, that to me signals that maybe the homework isn't tailored to where they're at, and there needs to be a longer conversation with the teacher about making those modifications.
Okay.
So absolutely, those
Dr.
observations.
Beretta Scher, such great advice. Thank you so much. So hopefully we can get a great start on the new school year.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.